Lauderdale in general is you represent the hottest part of the market. You know, you are the demographic of people that are really coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
So we've also had 2 major hurricanes, or 3 now, over the past couple of years, which hurt a lot of the inventory. With the fact that the factories in France had to shut down, or in Europe, it's about 2 years to get a new boat.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when people can't buy new,
They start looking.
they start looking at brokerage even heavier. So now you have another group of people that have already hit in the market. So certainly things have thinned out. The boats are fairly spread out, primarily because people aren't going to the Caribbean. They actually brought their boats home. They're not necessarily at a staging point here. Fort Lauderdale has traditionally been a good jumping spot to the Bahamas. So we keep the boat here because we're going right back to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Well, when the Bahamas closed, a lot of people said, well, I want to use my boat. Let's bring it up the coast. Let's bring it back to where we are. So the boats got quite a bit spread out.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
not very much to see right now. And when you do want to go and see it, you're doing a lot of driving.
Yeah.
Because they're not necessarily on one location as they typically are. You know, this will change again. You know, as soon as things open up, this will be the gateway back to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
As it always has been.
Yeah.
But right now, I can't say I blame people for wanting the boat in their backyard. You know.
No, we're monohull owners, and we've always chartered
what do you
monohulls.
currently own?
We're from Madison, Wisconsin, so we have an
Okay.
inland lake boat,
Yeah.
Hunter 24.
Yeah.
But we've chartered the.
Hunter got a lot of people out on the water.
Oh yeah, I
You know,
know. We've
fantastic.
chartered a Hunter 36 on the Gulf,
Yeah.
and the Beneteau 50, 49.5 on both coasts, up and down the coast. But it's always been monohulls.
Yeah.
And if we look at liveaboard, she's much more in favor of a cat,
Okay. Okay.
and
Well,
I can live with that.
I don't blame you. They're lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
You know, they certainly. I love the feeling of dumping wind and healing. You know, it's great, but I will admit it's tiring.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I don't
after
love it.
a long day of sailing on a catamaran, when you're on a flat surface, you're not as tired
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I think that's a slight compromise for an awful lot of comfort.
Well, to have her come along, it's worth
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
So come on
Thank
over
you.
and take.
I
well, it's-
appreciate that.
You know, it's,
Yeah. So how difficult is it to find a liveaboard marina on this coast?
well, there's a couple of opinions on that, and I'm going to say a couple of things, and it's not for distribution because it can get people kind of upset. In my opinion, marinas don't like the term liveaboard. It implies something that you're not. You're not going to show up at a marina with a trailer with all of your belongings behind your boat, and everything that doesn't fit on your boat is going to stay
Yeah.
in your car
Yeah.
or on your trailer. Okay?
Trashy looking. Yeah.
Now, so there are many different types of situations. You, I believe, are either a seasonal or full-time cruiser, meaning my boat moves. I go places.
Right.
I'm looking for accommodation for a period of time. I'm not looking for a mailing address,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, where I'm going to have packages and, you know, where relatives are going to come and, you know, people are going to come, but we go out sailing. We use the boat, okay? We're not tied to the dock forever with the permanent power connection, okay?
Yeah.
So the term liveaboard is often misunderstood and frightens some marina owners because it represents a person that isn't going anywhere,
Yeah.
that's never leaving.
So use a different term.
So are you able to find marinas that offer a cruiser to stay on board while their boat is at the location until they move to another destination? Yeah, surely,
That's
yes,
it. Okay.
absolutely. Are you going to find a marina that wants a mailing address that becomes a permanent residence for a person?
boat that just sits there.
They're not. That is not as easy to find.
Yeah.
Not to say it doesn't exist, but it's not the model.
Might not be where
that
you want to
these-
be anyway.
It's
then.
not the model what these large marinas are looking for.
Yeah.
You know, they're looking for turnover.
Yeah.
They're looking for new faces. New faces mean more clients.
Yeah.
You know, typically people stay full time. They want a discount.
Yeah.
You know, so you can kind of read between the lines and go for it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. That's very helpful. I hadn't
Yeah.
heard that before. That's a Lagoon 440.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, we're not in the market right now, but if we were retiring in 6 months, so this is a mindset you got to put yourself in. So we're going to retire in 6 months, and we could afford this. Is this what you'd want to live aboard?
Yeah.
So as a cruising couple, just the two of you,
Yeah.
this would probably be as big a boat as I think you'll feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay, because it's a very large vessel.
Right.
So if you wish to just come on aboard, I'm going to go down first, and then you can kind of come across. I'll be here if you need me, but I don't think you will. There you are. Well,
Thank you.
have you been aboard?
What year is this?
This is a 2008, I believe. Have you been aboard a 440 before?
No.
Okay.
We have,
What do you know of Lagoon?
I like the higher head clearance
Yep.
inside there. I know, isn't that a popular boat in the BVIs?
Very.
Moorings and Sunsail,
Yep, yeah.
those run them.
Then you have your three main production boats. You know, Fontaine Peugeot, Lagoon, Leopard. Those are the three most prominent names in the market. They build three very comparable boats. Their clients are the same person. Everyone's trying to attract the same demographic. They offer their boats in charter and have designed them to be attractive for private use. But ultimately, they build very durable vessels that are expected to have a heavy use period during their operation time frame. And they all know that if after that heavy use period, the boat can't be brought back and look like it's brand new, their wheel will stop spinning.
Yeah.
People will stop buying. They won't buy their product. So all three of the manufacturers are extremely successful at achieving this. Lagoon and Leopard and Fontaine Peugeot own the charter market.
Yeah.
They build boats specifically that are very attractive for that demographic. So this flybridge,
Yeah, this is unique, isn't
is
it?
very, very popular.
Yeah.
Most all the models offer it now. All your lines will run to this station. Essentially, all of these boats are manufactured with the intention that one person can operate the boat.
Boy, is this nice. You know, you put the helm back there and not be able to see the other bow.
Yep, yep.
This is really sweet for
Yep.
parking. What about the new XS line? Do you know anything
I think
about that?
It's very, very similar to the rest of the Lagoon line, but it has a heavier performance, spin on it.
Performance meaning it's going to be a
It has
little faster
wing
boat.
station helms.
I
It
just
is
wanted to flip it over.
it's essentially the same boat as the Lagoon. It just they've tweaked it a bit to give it a more of a. Here's a good example. You're buying a Volkswagen, right?
Yeah.
You can buy the Golf, or you can buy the GTI. It's the same chassis. One has a slight difference in the equipment on board, and the result is you get a boat that's a little faster, a little bit more performance oriented. I don't believe that it has been found that the performance is that staggeringly different, but certainly the styling of the boat, it looks much faster.
Okay.
I have not sailed the XS, so I can't speak with personal. you
Yeah.
know,
These are all
Experience.
electric winches, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
And is there on the Lagoon? Is there some sort of keel under the pontoon?
Both sides will have a fixed keel.
How deep?
This will be about a 4.5 foot draft. So the keel itself is about 3 feet.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yep.
So only a 1.5 draft on the pontoon, and then a 3. Well, that should help. One of the things, I mean, I'm a monohull
I mean,
sailor.
those are round numbers. It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah, it's
it's
fine.
not outrageous.
I'm a monohull sailor, so you know what I've always heard is pointing into the wind is difficult. But if you've got that kind of keel underneath, I would think you could.
But still, it's not going to point as well as a monohull. You know, it just won't. The wind gets caught by the wind leeward hull. It'll fall off course. They do several things to help benefit, you know, or increase the boat's pointing ability. You know, the hulls are designed to be able to point a little better to limit the impact of that. But all catamarans will have a more difficult time achieving a pointing position.
And let's see, Yanmar diesels are standard on a Lagoon.
No, you either have Yanmar or you're going to have Volvo.
They can make them either way.
You can get either.
Okay.
Right now, the predominant manufacturer, the engine manufacturer is Yanmar.
Oh, good. Tells you
Reefing
when
points.
I better reef. Yeah.
Essential on this design.
Reef early.
So I mentioned a moment ago that you can operate this boat from this station by yourself, but I would say this is a boat that I would typically, if I'm sailing, want to have additional hands on board. It's a very large vessel. The sails are quite big. Everything is great until you have a problem. And when you have a problem, you're probably going to want another person. So the 44.
She's available. Karen is available for a problem, but she'd rather not be. So
Well,
you may be saying this might be just a
when
little
you
on the
charter,
big side.
you have a number of people on board, and many of them don't know how to sail.
Right.
Potentially, none of them know how to sail.
Yeah.
But you have a captain on board that does. So the boat is designed that a competent captain can operate the boat, and typically that captain will have 1 or 2 people on board that are willing participants
Yeah.
and will follow instruction, and that's what is necessary.
But when you go to ownership and sailing as a couple, it's a little different story.
It's a team sport.
Yeah, we know that. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Is that the Traveler?
Yes.
Yeah.
Traveler goes up.
I like the pit out here.
You like the pit?
Yeah, I do. Like a little living room.
Uh-huh.
And it's like
Please hop on inside.
Hobbling on one foot here a little bit.
You got a broken wing?
Yeah, damaged.
ish.
Oh, this is nice though.
Yeah, it's super nice.
AC?
So, this is what, this is one of the main selling points for the Lagoon is this flat,
Yeah.
high ceiling, panoramic, lots of light, very comfortable. There is, on this particular model, they have the additional controls for the internal station
I was going to say, what is the joystick?
that operates your rudders. So it would be highly discouraged to dock a boat from this position.
Oh.
You would do that from the flybridge, typically.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to dock it from this position. I could, but I wouldn't want it. The visibility is restricted.
Yeah.
But when you're underway, out at sea, you can make you can make course adjustments. You can run the boat from the inside, which is quite nice.
Yeah. Okay, in bad weather.
Is that a TV or is that like the monitor?
It's a TV, which is also a potential monitor. Garmin electronics, Raymarine sailing instruments, everything communicates with each other. Air conditioning, generator, washer dryer, water maker.
That's awesome.
This boat is fully equipped
ready to cruise.
for cruising. So this particular boat is a bit of a, it's a very good opportunity if you were in the market right now, which you're not, but
Right.
if you were,
Yeah.
I would say please consider this heavily for a couple of reasons. One, I know from having watched the market, this particular boat was purchased 5 months ago by a gentleman who is in his, I believe, mid-70s. He was a widower and had a dream. Went out, probably against popular judgment, and purchased a boat of this size to live on and cruise on alone. And in the process of receiving the boat and moving on board, I understand, or it's been told to me, that he had one incident where he lost his footing and fell off the gangplank, and never, it shook his confidence in things.
Yeah.
And he quickly realized that maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
Happens.
So I'm very unfortunate for him, but there is a cure, and that is, you pull the cord and get out.
Yeah.
So he has relisted the boat. Now the benefit to a buyer is there was a full survey done on this boat by a very well-known and respected surveyor in the area. The survey was done 5 months ago. Additional work was done to the boat after the survey.
Oh.
The engines were all serviced. All the recommendations that were made, or I understand that the majority of the recommendations that were made by the surveyor were addressed. The gentleman wanted to be able to cruise. So, argumentatively, this boat is
Ready to
cruise
go.
ready.
Yeah.
It has not gone anywhere since the survey. He never took it out. It never left the dock. It made it from the marina here to be listed. So nothing has changed. I'm quite certain if you survey it, which everyone is, you should, there will still be things
Find
that are
something
noted.
else. Yeah.
But this is about as good a situation as you can get for having a degree of confidence
Yeah.
to move forward. There's a high level of confidence in the information. So I think he's asking a premium price-wise. There is not very much available, so there is some justification for it. Whether or not if people will agree to it, he did, will be interesting. He's looking at a 10% brokerage commission for selling the boat. That's going to be painful for him because the value of the boat really hasn't changed in 5 months. So he's going to take a hit. Often the seller's journey is painful, emotional.
Yeah.
I mean, people
He had a dream.
have done something. They're usually, sometimes they're quite happy they did it, but still, if you really love your boat and you're selling it for whatever reason, you're still moving on to something else, and that's an emotional thing. So when buyers are looking at the market, I encourage all the buyers to remember your journey is a lot different than theirs. So when they respond or as you negotiate, keep in mind that you're looking at this from completely opposite ends of the table, and that you one day too will be a seller.
Yeah.
So when a response comes back and it's not what you want to hear, sit back for a minute and think about it, and then maybe give something a pass or take another shot.
Yeah.
Rather than just saying, well, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, that's wise.
So-
You've seen this a time or two.
Yeah, I've helped a lot of sellers. So these are expensive boats. If you can buy them, you've done quite well. You fit in a very small demographic of people that are quite fortunate from hard work. This is you've done well thus far. You're able to do something that not many people can. So don't ever forget that. I think it's really important for buyers to recognize that this is a very fortunate thing, and you can give this to yourself in your life. Not many people can. So you can enjoy it.
Yeah. Well,
Make sure it's what you want. It's costly to do this, but it does check a box for many people. That is a real life fulfilling item. It brings great enjoyment and keeps you young. All those great things.
well put. Yeah. I mean, our mantra has been that all this depends on the Lord blessing us with continued good health and the economic market continuing well, and all that. We're on track to be able to do it. But
I
things
don't
can go
believe
sideways.
that the industry will change too much if the market goes bad. And I'll say that based on previous experience when the market did go bad. People still bought. As a matter of fact, when the market was bad for quite a long time, people started buying more. because they came to a point where they recognize that they're getting older.
And do it.
And
Yeah.
nothing's going to change in the next 5 years. I've worked hard, you know, I can hear them saying to themselves, I've worked hard my whole life. I have a dream. I'm 62, 65 years old. I'm not sure if I'm going to be the same, you know, sparky person at 72.
Yeah.
You know, I can do this now. I'm fortunate enough for that. Do I wait? They don't. They move forward.
Yeah.
And we continue to sell boats. So I have great faith that, you know, the market will continue because people still have a desire to check this box. And I don't think if you can buy one of these boats, some financial hiccups really aren't going to stop you from checking the box. They're just going to change the way you do it. So that's my opinion.
You know, let's look at the hulls here. One of the things you said earlier about has been sticking in my head that if it's she and I, and she's a willing participant, but not excited about going up to grab a sail that's flapping,
Yep.
should we look at the next level down? Is there 42?
That's a personal, absolutely, and it's a personal question you need to ask yourself, and I think it's a wise question to ask yourself. The size of the boat, you know, a 38-foot Lagoon is still a
Still
lovely
big boat.
vessel.
And big boat.
And you know, so you have to be honest with yourself
Can we handle?
about what you need, and I think that logic would state that this is probably a good area to be conservative. You know, the income I make is directly related to the price of the boats that I sell.
Sure.
Okay, but at the same time, having clients that are miserable with their purchase is a miserable experience, and it does not typically offer a second round.
Yeah.
So
You wanna be
I do put an emphasis on hoping that you find what you want, and I have no problem telling you an opinion when you ask, but it is an opinion,
Yeah.
and ultimately you will buy what you want.
Yeah.
I think you're wise to look at the market if it is truly just the two of you. You know, this may be more space than you need, and there are options that are smaller.
Yeah. Well, you know, yes, thank you. And we have family and friends that will be joining us throughout,
Yep.
kids and their kids, and so it's not like we wouldn't use the space, but it's got to be a space we can also comfortably.
The
handle.
most important thing for anyone that's buying, in my opinion, is to understand your exit strategy. You will sell
Yeah.
anything
You would
buy.
be the exit strategy.
Well, yes, but the vessels offer a pretty good picture of the exit strategy when you're buying, when you look at the market. For instance, the production brands, people don't know very much about these boats, but they know those names.
Right.
Everyone starts their search likely with these brands. People have confidence buying these brands because they see the brand.
Yeah.
And that, you know, we are very brand conscious. Your device, everything has a label. Everything we wear. It's amazing. Our shoes, everything
Yeah.
has a brand. We're programmed that way. Americans very much so.
Yeah.
So subconsciously, I think people see great comfort in a brand. Your exit strategy from the production boats will be strong because there's more people looking. You will find you'll find value purchasing a boat that's not a production model. Some South African boats are not as well known, are not as highly sought after in the American market. That has nothing to do with the quality of the build, you know, how the boat sails, what it offers. Those are all separate issues, and they are quite different in many areas. But you may find that you're fine with all those elements, and you could buy that boat for a fairly sizable discount compared to the same size and type of boat in a brand that's more well known. Okay?
Yeah.
But when you go to sell,
Same thing. Yeah.
you will be looking for a specific buyer, that is come to a point where they recognize this and then are attacking that particular market. So it doesn't happen as quickly.
Yeah.
You're not able to rely on the branding of the manufacturer to assist you with the sale. So all of these boats have a very good, all of the production brands have a very solid exit strategy. The boats sell quite readily. There's good turnover, and for that reason, I think that buyers can have a high level of confidence buying the brand because they know that for all intents and purposes, people will continue to do so in the foreseeable future. There's nothing on the horizon that really states that nobody's going to buy a Lagoon again.
Right. Yeah.
I don't see any evidence of that, or for Fontaine Pajot or Leopard. These boats are going to continue to sell. So those are some elements that are very important for you to consider.
That's very helpful. Very helpful. Very good. Yeah. So I'm just thinking your piano will go there, or else right here. We'll raise that up a little bit, and we'll put your piano right there.
Yep. Well, there's another table for this. It's a larger
Dining,
table,
yeah.
and it's actually stored right now. It doesn't necessarily have to be.
Oh, right there.
Stored
Yeah.
in this overhead compartment outside.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
And it's protected in there. Can be pulled out and put in. The coffee table can be used outside as well.
Nice.
This table can be put up here as well.
Mhm.
So
Good.
you have an
Interchangeable,
ability to
yeah.
move things around.
Is there a freezer on this one?
Yes, you have a dedicated refrigerator,
There.
and then there's a dedicated freezer over here.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people have been swapping out the original refrigerator
Okay.
and
Huh.
putting in drawer
I
style
saw that.
refrigeration.
Yeah,
That is an upgrade that's done quite a bit on this
Yeah.
boat, and
Okay.
I would recommend it.
yeah. Okay.
Originally, this had a stainless steel
Okay.
countertop. It's now been changed to corian.
Mhm.
Okay, it's probably to the owner's preference.
Oh, okay.
The fixtures have been updated.
Let's see.
This one is just a standard, Home Depot faucet,
Sure.
probably,
Okay.
which is fine. This, you'll see if you look around at the appointments, you see we get some oxidization and pitting.
Uh-huh.
This is age. It's like it's like sunspots on your face. We can't necessarily prevent this from happening. This is a used boat.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, there are many things you can do
12, 13 years old.
to slow this down, to make it less noticeable. You could, of course, swap all these out, with new ones. But this is an inevitable situation. We live in an acid environment. We're in salt water. You ever go to the shore and you see a house that was built on the ocean, and it was painted, just built. Then you go away and you come back to the same beach community 3 years later, and you go by the house and you're like, oh,
What happened?
look at the rust on the fixtures, and the paint is faded. Whereas if that house was 15 miles inland, you wouldn't have that. We get rust on our brakes overnight here in Fort Lauderdale because we're so close to the shore. So this is just a reality.
Yeah.
So you have to, if you're looking at a used vessel, I encourage you to be truthful about what is realistic and what is not.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'd be less concerned about that and much more concerned about the maintenance on the engines and the generator. And
Yes, with
sales
the
lines.
best owners are ones that have a very good balance between the small things and the essential things.
What's this?
That is a upper station, lower station
changing
for the
switch.
control.
Yeah, okay. Don't want to get that wrong.
Right.
Why isn't this steering?
Yeah, the steering will
Emergency
still
brake.
work, but your throttle controls and everything get swapped over for sure.
And owner's suite is that way?
Water suite is down in here.
So think in terms of what,
Spices.
what dinnerware we'd bring.
Lots of room on this
That
boat.
sure is.
This is very nice having the pass-through.
Yeah.
Being able to
Oh,
send
yeah,
your
yeah.
stuff out.
Yes.
You will find that
Of course,
you'll
I don't want to be here.
be eating most of your meals outside.
Yeah.
On occasion
This
you
is
will
the
stay
living
inside.
room.
But mostly you'll be outside.
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right, let's look down here.
Okay.
And remember, it's a
What about that?
it's an 08 44. That's got what you want.
Yes, it does.
The walk around bed instead of side to
Sweet.
side.
Yeah.
Huh, I was thinking that the captain's side would be there. No. Nice.
Or you could teach your music lessons right now. The piano wouldn't.
I
fit.
wanna, I'd be outside.
You wanna
I
be
think.
outside.
I think I'd be outside. Yeah, this is so fun how to do this.
Yep, good.
Right, that is shots. Can't believe that. Yeah, magazine, right, book rack. Closet.
No, originally,
Nice.
this was a sofa here.
No, okay.
And I think this is a very, very smart decision
Right.
to build a custom cabinet and storage area here. It's a great area for a chart if need be. It's a good, believe it or not, if you're doing any kind of repair. If I owned the boat, I'd probably have a piece of plastic that was rolled up that matched this that I could unroll on the top of it. And with a furniture blanket or something I could put over the front. And I can break down a starter here. I could work on injectors here. Not that
Yeah.
you think a little bit outside the box. Fuel in this area is
Nice.
not the greatest thing, but if you got to fix something, you got to fix something. It's good to have a space that you can do it. This is also an incredibly nice area to fold laundry.
Here's
And
the laundry.
you do have a washing machine on board.
Yeah.
Insane.
Um,
Just a washer?
The dryer's
It's a
outside.
dryer as well,
Oh.
but you will find fairly universally these units do not dry very well.
Okay, got it.
They're not very
Be
efficient.
happy they're washed.
So you can dry, but it's you're a 110 vessel. If it's 220 to that, you'll have a little bit better. But the smaller drum units, they just don't do as good a job.
Okay, so why bother?
But you got plenty of sunshine, so you
Yep.
put it out.
Getcha.
And you'll find that living on a boat, you're going to use that for your, you're going to do your sheets.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to do your bathing suit, your underwear. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
we're not really wearing an evening gown on the boat.
Right. Well, we do know a woman.
We went cruising
Who
once with a
does?
couple. And
Yeah.
It was like
She had a change of outfit for
it was
every
like
meal.
Mrs. Howell. Yeah.
That's that's whatever makes you happy.
I guess. That's beautiful. Honestly, that's.
And those are
really
escape
nice.
hatches, more or
Yep.
less.
And they no longer open.
Oh,
The old ones did. They now have a little diamond-tipped hammer right there. You smash the glass when you're going out.
nice.
People have accidentally left them open, and they are prone to leak.
Yeah.
You leave it open and you're sailing, that is a bad day.
Yeah. A
So
lot of water. All right. And then the servants' quarters over here.
there you go.
Don't know. Drain.
That drains it? I don't know, what does that do?
It's a freshwater or a seawater pump, I'm not sure which, but it enables you to get water so you're not using any power.
Oh,
Now.
And many people may. This is probably filtered drinking water. If I know what other people have done,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
this probably has a filter on it, so the water is
Drink
being clean, and that would be drinkable. Okay, or in the drinkable to their standards, okay, or to yours if you agree with it. This right here would be standard fresh water. This is likely a saltwater feed. Okay.
Rinsing.
So if you're trying to conserve water, this boat has a water maker, so you don't have to be as careful. But still, when you're doing dishes, there's no reason why we have to use fresh water to wash the dishes. We can rinse the dishes with fresh water, but the
Yeah.
actual washing can be done with salt.
Yeah.
And we're saving an awful lot of power.
Interesting. The storage is remarkable on this boat.
I hope they never change from the analog system here. Well, I guess, yeah, just switches for all
Everything's
this.
going digital, unfortunately.
Ah.
And now everything's tied into your main electronics. It's a mindset, you know.
Yeah.
So you can still shower in that one. Good job. That's faucet.
Huh. Or what this guy did for a living.
Yeah, right? Eye doctor much?
I don't know.
I think so. Oh, they weren't gonna shower in that one, they added storage.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Oh, it has its own shower up ahead?
Well,
Or
off the
behind it?
faucet
Or
handle.
there?
Thing. Faucet handle. Yeah, 2 bathrooms.
Yeah,
Heads.
this is.
Do you mind if I just call one of my colleagues real fast? They
Not at all.
texted me a couple of times.
Yep, you go ahead. Look at this whiteboard. That's
Oh,
all
yeah,
things to fix.
right. Honey-do.
Nice. All right.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
I don't know. I think I could handle it. I think I could drive it. I mean, like any boat, it feels monstrously huge when
Yeah.
you step on it. Then when you start driving it and sailing it, oh yeah, I can do